Section 5C, Staff Professional Development. In this section, the applicant should describe the staff professional development services for health disparity populations. Applicants must propose at least one staff professional development service. To get started, click on Add New Service. You will be asked if the new service is unique to health disparities. If yes, you can continue with the service template. If no, the service template will not appear. Remember, services for health disparities must be unique and different than those listed in the general population section. A form will be provided to enter information required by the CDE for proposed services. The information is broken down in segments with prompts just like in the previous sections. The first segment simply contains the services type, name, and description. You can select more than one service type. You will also need to enter the service name and a brief description. When will the service be provided? The CDE requires information on how the service will be provided and in which grant years. If the service will be implemented in session, select the first option. You will need to check off the applicable grant years to enable the detailed fields. Provide each year's start and end date, number of sessions, average number of minutes per session, and the average number of recipients per session. If the service will not be session-based, select the second option. First, check the boxes for the applicable grant years to enable their text fields and describe the service's implementation frequency for each year. Who will provide this service? Note whether the service will be provided internally by school staff, by an external agency, or by a combination of both. If an external agency is involved, list the names of external providers that will be involved in the service. How will this service be evaluated? For staff professional development, you may enter some form of evaluation measure, but it is not required. If you choose to enter a measurable outcome, you can do so for the first year of the proposed service. You may provide a measurable outcome, your data source, and the staff responsible for collecting the data and the frequency of data collection. The info icon describes what measurable outcomes are. By clicking inside the data source field, will provide a list of common data sources. You may select as many as apply. If the data source is not listed, you can click on Add Other in an option box to manually add a data source. Similarly, for staff field, we'll provide a list of prompts, or you can use Add Other to manually add options. Add a note on the data collection's frequency. Click on Save Service Entry to save the information entered and close the entry form. You can proceed to add the next service per the minimum requirements listed for this section. Note, if you begin a service entry but are not able to complete the details for the entire service at the time, you will need to have at least the service type and service name filled out. You can then save your progress and return to complete the service's details later. The system will show in the validated column that some required fields are still missing. Once all required fields are fulfilled, the system will show a check mark. You can also edit to return to editing a service's details or click on Delete to remove a service. Staff Professional Development HD Populations. Applicants must estimate the percentage of TUPE staff and non-TUPE staff who will receive at least one TUPE-related staff professional development service for HD populations described in this section. Please refer to the tutorials on saving your work and validating and locking sections for more details.